Welcome.
Hi, all. Thanks so much for joining the social media and storytelling training. Um, it's my pleasure to introduce from Tono Latino, Sylvia Salazar. Sylvia Salazar is the founder of Tono Latino. She'll be leading tonight's training on social media and storytelling. And Tono Latino is a digital platform dedicated to making politics accessible and increasing Latino voter turnout. This computer engineer turned content creator uses engaging videos and storytelling to demystify complex issues and inspire civic action. Through her Substack, Latino Lens, she offers political insight through a Latino perspective, sharing stories and experiences often overlooked in mainstream conversations. So thank you so much, Sylvia, for being on tonight's training.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, everyone, for joining. This is going to be, I hope, very useful training. We're going to give you all the tools you need so that you can create your own social media videos to post and to reach out to all of your friends, neighbors, family members, and let them know about No King's Day coming up and all the other events that are coming down the line that we've heard about today. So, Kaden, I think who's controlling slides? Yes. Why does it matter? I think it's funny that we included this here because if you are in this training, you know that social media is important. And in fact, in September of last year, Pew Research found that 54% of adults use social media to learn about what's going on. That percentage is much higher when you talk about younger demographics like 18 to 29-year-olds or 30 to 49-year-olds. And those people are not going to stop using social media to find out what's going on. And so it's great that you're here because now you're going to join me and so many others who are just talking about what's happening on social media and letting others know how to get involved. Next slide. So we're going to start with a poll just so that because we're nosy and we just want to know what kind of social media apps you use most often. And maybe you can like be inspired by other people. So you can choose from Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Blue Sky, or if there's another one, you can also say other, or you can just say, I don't use any social media apps. And well, glad that you're here because we're going to show you how to use at least one of them.
And folks are ranking which ones they use the most. So we'll have some pretty rich data here in just a minute.
Okay, as a political nerd, I love the fact that we are doing rank choice voting over here.
So we're going to try to get to at least half of you all on the call and then we'll wrap. So another 15 seconds to weigh in. Get your vote in before the polls close.
Come on.
All right.
There we go. 54% of
54%.
participants.
All right. It's a wrap. What have we learned?
Okay, Facebook and Instagram that are owned by the same company are at the top, which I'm going to be very honest with you, is great for me right now because that's what I use that's what the tools that I'm going to show you today, even though you could apply a lot of the things that we're going to learn today to TikTok, to YouTube Shorts, or even to Blue Sky. Like once you have the video, you can just put it up. So just great to know that we were aligned ahead of time. Next slide. Okay, so here's something that I want you to remember. You can do this. I know it's scary. That face that you see right there, that was my first video that I did on March 23rd, 2018 because of a dare. Turns out I was writing a Spanish newsletter to explain to people, hopefully the Latino community, what was happening in politics. And a mentor told me, like, Sylvia, I have no idea what you're saying in your newsletter. you're never going to be as engaging as you are in person. Now, back then we didn't have these like studies of how many like percentage of adults get their news from social media, but this person told me Latinos watch way more video than any other demographic, and this person was right. The thing is that he challenged me and said, look, you're going to start making videos, and either you post a video by 6 p.m. tonight or to your Instagram, or you're going to donate $15 to the Donald Trump reelection campaign. Now, I do not want to threaten you like I was threatened. I react very well to those challenges. Excuse me. So I had 2 videos posted by 5:55. I look like a deer in headlights right there. I'm trying to smile at the camera. And I had a little post-it note next to it. And if you watch the video, you can see my eyes like looking to the side. It's pretty awkward. I don't know if you can tell right there. It has 32 likes. So here's the great thing that I have for you. You can do it. I'm also going to warn you, you're probably not going to like it, okay? Because you are harder on yourself than anybody else. None of the people are going to see 95% of the things that you're going to criticize about yourself. I can pick 32 things wrong with my videos that most people wouldn't even notice. So keep that in mind. And I promise you, you're going to get better. I love keeping this video handy to remind myself that over time you get better, and also to show my daughter, I have a 10-year-old daughter, that with practice you improve. So this like feeds into the whole growth mindset. So I'm sharing that story with you because if you're anything like me, probably you're a little hesitant to get on camera. And I don't want you to like make a threat to yourself like the one that I was given. How about we make it positive? Like if you make the video, you get a treat, or you get to, I don't know, make a wish, and then your wish is more likely to come true if you post the video. Okay? Next slide. Okay, so we're not going to start yet, but if you are anywhere around your house with your phone or your tablet, I want you to try to find a little piece of paper and a pen or a marker. I say little piece of paper because I don't want you writing an entire script. I only want you to write the bullet points of the most important parts of what you're going to say. Okay? Like I said, we're not going to start writing yet. Soon we're going to work on like writing the little script, okay, bullet points for your social media video. We're going to show you different ways to put videos. Some are going to be lower risk, and some are going to be a little bit, I don't want to say risk, like some are just going to live for 24 hours and the other ones are going to like stay longer. And we're also going to tell you a little bit about how you can make videos that are good where you don't have to be on camera. Okay. And today's goal is to encourage your friends and family to participate in No King's Day. But what you learn here is going to be useful for any of the other future events that all of us will probably participate in. Now, you hear me saying participate and not march. I am a firm believer that there isn't just one way to participate. If you have a broken leg, I don't know, and you can't go marching, you can help people make signs. You can babysit somebody's kids who are like on nap time during the events. Whatever it is, if you're helping with No King's Day, I want you to think of like how you're going to participate. Okay, next slide. Here's an example that we're going to play from one of my favorite accounts on social media, Instagram. This is Chris and Dave. Well, sorry, that is not Dave. Chris is the lady that you see with the glasses. She's a veteran. She and her husband live in Detroit, and she is a master at making these videos, and she does not sound scripted. Okay, so when we watch this in a second, I want you to pay attention to how she talks. She's looking straight at the camera. We're gonna go over like some of the tricks that you might want to employ, and have a clear call to action. Kaden, take it away.
Hey y'all, this is my friend Bill Cousins. He's the founder of Less Cancer. Bill and I just finished dinner tonight. He said something really important to me that I wanted to share with y'all. Take it away, Bill.
We were talking about less Medicaid is more cancer.
And I was like, what exactly do you mean by that?
I mean, less access, less screenings. You get it.
Yeah. So you guys, cancer doesn't care whether you're a Democrat or Republican or an independent. It is truly bipartisan in the worst of ways. Call your senators and ask them to vote against any cuts to Medicaid funding. Thanks, y'all. I'll put the number down below. Bye.
As you can see, she gave us a clear message. She knew how to speak to the audience, talk about the pain points. In this case, it's healthcare. Less care equals more cancer. And at the end, she gave us a clear call to action saying, call your senators. And then this video on Instagram included the number of the senators that you could call. So keep that in mind. And remember, completely unscripted. Obviously, she has a lot of practice, but that's why we're going to write our main points on our little post-it. Next slide. Okay, here's a very insightful post that I found on Threads. Threads, if you don't know what Threads is, it's a very similar platform owned by Facebook to Twitter in the old days. And somebody was making posters right before the hands-off protests on April 5th. And this person went to the store to buy materials to make the signs. And then the checkout lady asked her, like, what are you protesting? And the buyer said, well, we're defending democracy. And if you can see the highlighted letters there, the checkout lady said, like, I'm not smart enough to know what that means. Now, if you're here in this training, my guess is like you understand what we mean when we say we're defending democracy. The problem is that a lot of people out in the world need a concrete and specific example that if you describe it and I describe it, it's going to be pretty much the same description. Now, democracy is kind of like a cloud. It's very difficult to describe what you mean to make it be exactly the same thing as I mean. But if I tell you, I'm going to make signs to protest because I don't want billionaires breaking down government agencies because my mother relies on Social Security and I need to make sure she keeps getting her checks, then you can picture what I'm saying, that if my mom needs her Social Security check and she doesn't get it, we're going to be negatively impacted. So keep that in mind when we go into the little exercise of writing our bullet points, okay? Next slide. Okay, here we go. This is the prompt that we'd like to give you. On June 14th, I'm going to blank. I'm going to march. I'm going to babysit my grandkids. I'm going to do whatever. Because blank. Okay? There's only one exception that I'm going to allow. If you cannot participate on June 14th, for example, you can say on June 12th, I'm hosting a party to make signs for all of my neighbors who are going to march on June 14th. That's like the only exception that I'm going to allow. Okay. So we're going to take 3 minutes. You're just going to write the bullet points on a little post-it note. You can say June 14th, what you're going to do, why you're going to do it. And if you want, you can also say, find out more at nokings.org. Okay. Ready? Hit that timer. Okay, we are done. Thank you to everyone who's been writing, not only in their post-it notes, but also in the chat. I saw some great examples. Christina said on June 14th, I'm going to protest because we're less safe, less rich, and less free since the president decided he wanted to be a king. We don't have kings in the United States of America. That is very specific. Mary, on June 14th, I'm attending the rally at the Bucks County, Pennsylvania courthouse. I don't answer to kings. Jenny, on June 14th, I'm going to the No Kings rally in Naples because innocent law-abiding people are getting pulled off the streets with no due process. That is a perfect example because it gives us immediately an image of what is happening and why Jenny is going to protest. You guys are doing a great job following the prompt. So we're going to take, next slide. I believe this is the time where we're going to take a break. Oh, no, we're not. Never mind. Sorry. The break is coming later. I promise. I got too excited. Okay. So I told you we're going to start with like low risk video. Okay. I'm going to walk you through how to do this on Instagram. The cool thing is that Instagram and Facebook, which are the two most popular platforms according to the poll, are very similar in how to interact with them. So what we're going to show you should apply for a big percentage of the attendees here. And the great thing about stories is that if you're scared, like, oh, I don't want to like publish this and have it live in my social media forever for everybody to find, stories expire after 24 hours. So you just put it out there. And the great thing is that you can save it. So if you want to share it again later, it's going to be on your phone and you can find it and again, put it. But if you don't, you're like, okay, I did it. And if you just like it a lot, then you can do it again. So we're going to walk you through step by step how it would work. You open Instagram. And then at the bottom, you're going to see a little plus sign in the middle of your screen. And you're going to hit that little plus sign. And then you want to make sure that the camera is flipped. So you want to use that little button with the arrows that look like a recycling sign in red at the bottom right, if the camera is facing the other way. And you want to make sure that it says story right in the middle, because otherwise it's not going to be a story and it's not going to expire after 24 hours. So, okay, I had my hoodie on, I took it off, and then next little slide. You want to make sure that you click that little down arrow, because then there's a feature called hands-free recording. That means that you don't have to be holding the button. You can just go to the next slide. Or the next, yeah. You want to turn on hands-free so that when you hit the record button, you can let go, which is very important for me because I talk a lot with my hands in case you haven't noticed. So I don't have to be holding the phone the whole time. Next. So now that you see the hands-free is activated, then you can hit that record button and just talk to the screen. And I think one of my favorite slides is next because this is an important trick. Here's the difference of what it looks like when you're looking at yourself on the screen versus if you look at the lens of your phone right at the top. I think you can see the difference. Like one, I'm looking down. It doesn't look like I'm looking at you. And on the other one, when I'm looking at the lens, it looks as if I'm looking at you. So a trick that I want you to also do is picture your best friend, your partner, somebody you love, like right in that lens so that you are talking directly to them. Okay. Next. Just start talking. You did some great brainstorming earlier. I'm not saying right now. I'm just showing you. On June 14th, I'm going to do this because I cannot afford, my medical treatment if I don't have Medicaid that these people want to slash, for example. And then you start recording. And next. Here's once you're done, then you see that little button at the top. You click on it and it'll generate, like you can press the captions button. So it'll generate captions for you, which makes the video more accessible for people. Most people will watch social media videos without sound. So you want to help them understand. And also for anybody that is, needs captions, this is going to be great because they will be able to understand what you're saying. If you need to edit things, you can tap on the captions and you can edit the words. But to be honest, it does a very good job of capturing like 95% of what you say. Next. Now here's an extra feature that I want to show you, especially for this, because we were talking about No King's Day. And if we're promoting it in stories, we can add a link. So you would go to the same place where you went to do the captions, and you can put the link right there. Click the link. You put nokings.org. And then if you see those little blue words that say see preview right there, if you were to click on that, it would show you what the website would look like, and then you can browse back or not. And then you can also customize the sticker text. What does that mean? So that instead of saying nokings.org, you can say something like, join me on June 14th for No King's Day, or something like that. I can't remember what I wrote in the little thing. We're going to see in a second. Oh, okay. So I was consistent. Join me on June 14th. Perfect. You can customize the button. So now we're going to look. I think we do have a screenshot of what it looks like. This is what I meant with the preview. And if you're like, oh, okay, this is exactly where I want people to go, you would click on that upper left-hand X to be like, okay, I don't need to see this anymore. It would take you back to the link website, and then it's right there. Join me on June 14th, and you can see it right there. And then you're ready to share the story. So all you have to do is at the bottom, you say your story, and that's it. So I just gave you a lot of information. You can go take a bio break. You can go take water. You can go play with your phone. You can start rehearsing, because when we come back, we're going to walk through making the video. Okay? Okay. We need to stop that like relaxing music because I need you to like energized again for the camera. There are some great questions that I'm going to quickly go over before we do the next part. Okay. So, um, can you make a video and look at it before you post it on Instagram stories? You absolutely can. So if you're a person that likes to make the video first and then post it on stories, you can absolutely do that. I do it all the time. Can you post the Instagram story automatically to Facebook? There's a thing that you have to enable, but yes, you can make it so that you do an Instagram story and it gets posted, sorry, to your Facebook account. And there was another question about, well, can you delete a video that you already posted? You absolutely can. You have no idea how many times I will make a mistake. I will say, oh, I'm going to include a link to the protest right here. And then I post the video and I completely forgot to add the link. So I have to re-upload it, or I don't know, for whatever reason, you can delete a video. So don't worry. It's not going to be the end of the world. It's not going to be a contract that you made with the universe for the end of your days. If you have more questions, keep them coming. But now, I can, if I were you, and this would be my first time, I would be thinking that this lady is crazy thinking that I'm going to do this in 3 minutes. And I want you to know that there's a reason why we picked 3 minutes, and it wasn't to make you feel rushed. It's because this is a low lift. The video should be very just, it's not a dissertation, okay? It is on June 14th. I'm doing this because of that. That's it. You could probably record the video 3 times. Remember, don't be overly perfectionist. Nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. Picture your best friend and, wait a second. Yeah, you're just going to just bring your script to life. We're just gonna take action on what we already have prepared and just don't overthink this, okay? Here we go. Okay, that was a abrupt wake up. Dana in the chat is saying 1.5 to 2 minutes was enough for them. Tell the director I need another take. Kirby, that is absolutely normal. Like I told you, you are overly critical, especially the first time, okay? Then it becomes a little bit like, it's not perfect, but you know what? My daughter, my 10-year-old daughter reminds me all the time, done is better than perfect. So just get it out there because it's more important to get the message out about No King's Day multiple times versus getting out a perfect, super cinematic production that less people watch. Okay. Sharon is saying that they totally failed to get their video working. It's okay. You'll get another chance. Just pay attention to what we're going to say here, and then you can try later on today or tomorrow. And for anybody that's freaking out that this is a lot of information coming at you, like I said, they're going to send you the slides that walk you through this entire process and also shows you a different way to make videos. So don't worry. Next slide. This is a different type of video. Okay, it's not a different type of video. This is what we would call a in-feed video. So this is a video that would be on your feed. So like when you open Instagram, it's right there on the grid. And the great thing about it is this is the one that's going to be saved on your phone. So for anybody that was asking, like, can I record the video first and save it and then upload it to my stories? This is a way to do it. Now, I implemented a little trick here where I'm going to ask you to text a video to your best friend, to your partner, to somebody you love. And if you heard me earlier, when I was telling you to look at the lens versus looking at the screen, when you picture that person, you will be a little bit more loose than if I tell you to go record a video for all of your Instagram followers. That psychologically kind of like messes with your head and makes you trip up. But if I tell you, hey, could you just take your phone and send a loving message to your son, then your facial expressions and the way you speak is going to be very different. So I want you to like pick somebody and send them a message with the script that you created. We're going to walk through the way that we would do this. So let's get started. I need somebody to click. There we go. So obviously the screenshots that you are seeing right now might look different if you don't have an iPhone. If you have an Android, I'm guessing it would look very familiar. So what you're going to do is like, you're going to text your friend, your partner, your grandkid, your son, your daughter, open the camera, boop, click right there. And then you're going to record the video. That was me making a video about No King's Day or whatever. And then you text it to that person. And then this is going to be funny because today they're going to be like, why is Kirby sending me a text? But it's because you're telling them, hey, Kirby, hey, Kirby's friend, I am marching on June 14th because I want to protect Medicare. Join me. So you're going to download that video to your phone. So it's saved in your camera roll. Kermit, I'm sorry that I'm picking on you. It's just the first name that I saw right there at the bottom of the chat. And I just saw that Kermit took 3 minutes because they had to install Instagram. I'm sorry. That kind of sucks. So you're going to save the video. And now it's going to be on your camera roll. Okay. Kirby just gave me a smiley face, so I don't think they're mad at me. And you're going to save it to your camera roll. And now you have the video. The great thing about it is that now you get to choose which of the social media platforms you're going to put it on. Like I said at the beginning, we're going to walk you through how to do it on Instagram, but I forgot their name. Earlier in the chat, somebody said, I've used WhatsApp. And as you can see on my screenshot right there, WhatsApp is one of like the main things that I use. And whoever that person was, I love them because I usually talk about WhatsApp and nobody knows what I'm saying. You can share this video on WhatsApp as well. You can put it on Twitter. Somebody was saying, why are we not sharing things on Twitter? Yes, we are. Blue Sky. All those platforms, you can share it. So now you have the video saved to your camera roll. Okay. Next. Okay, we're going to walk you through how to use that video for Instagram. Facebook would be a very similar interface, and the other platforms shouldn't be that different. Okay? This is just going to be a good start for you. So, you click on Instagram, and some of it is going to look very similar. You're like, okay, we already watched the same slide. You go to the plus sign in the bottom, in the middle, right there. This time, instead of story, you're going to slide to see until it says reel. Okay? The difference here is that now you see everything that's on your camera roll. I need to pause for a second here and address the question that was earlier. If you were in stories, there's a way that you can upload and you would be shown exactly what is on your camera roll and it would look similar to this. So the video that you recorded, you could upload it. There's only one little caveat. If your video is longer than 1 minute, Instagram stories max out at 1 minute. So if you spoke for more than 1 minute, it's not going to work for an Instagram story. In this case, I said like on June 14th, I'm marching because I have a daughter and I need her to know that I'm going to protect her healthcare. For me, it's very important that she has healthcare wherever she goes, regardless of the state that she's living in. I said something like that. So that was 37 seconds. So back to our reel tutorial. We pick reel, we select the video that we're trying to do, which is that one. Oop. We need to keep going. There we go. So select the video that you recorded and downloaded to your camera roll. So you select there and then you click next at the bottom. And now you are going to see this thing. And we want to add captions, I believe. So next little slide. There we go. So if you swipe, I guess, left, you would see this captions menu. You click on captions or you tap on captions and it's going to automatically generate them. Just a few seconds while it's transcribing. And then if you see a mistake, then you can tap the captions to edit some of the words. I believe I was able to catch that there was an error that I had to fix. Next slide. Or next little thing. You see right there. Instead of no king's day, this thing thought that I was saying no king's stay. So I tapped there and I added an S to kings, and then I changed the word stay for day, and then done at the bottom. And then you just click the little right facing arrow at the top. And now this looks a little bit different because this is going to live in your feed. If you want to get fancy, you can make a poll. This is just extra bonus work. You do not have to do that. You might probably want to include a little description. June 14th is No King's Day. What are your plans for that day? And that's the poll. And then you gotta press the share button, okay? Remember when we started the training that I told you, I don't want you to feel threatened like I was, but hey, maybe once you press that share button, your wish that you made is more likely to come true, or you get to treat yourself to something like a movie or whatever. Great question by Jennifer. How do you move the captions off of your face? You just drag down. Yes, you drag them up and down, up or down, however you want. You can place them. You can also, by the way, zoom out or zoom in to change the size. Just play with it a little bit and you will see. Another suggestion to complement that, don't put them too high up or too high or too low, because they'll be harder to see. So I usually try to keep them towards like the middle of, like, not over my face, but closer to my face, usually if I can, right below my mouth, because that's where people tend to look more. Another thing you can do is tag people. So what does that mean? If you have a friend that's also on Instagram, you can tag them. They're going to be notified that you tagged them, which means that they can also share that video, or they can be inspired to make their own. Okay? And then you can share. So this is just showing you how you would search for somebody. And then once you include them, I added myself, you would see who was included in the tag. You don't have to do that, by the way. I'm just showing you how to do it. And then you share. Sally, I don't have a tutorial on how to delete the video, but you would have to click it, and then I believe there's like 3 little buttons on the upper right hand, and you're able to delete the video. Don't overthink it though, okay? It's better to make another video and just have the message be repeated. And so this is the difference. This video would stay there unless you delete it from your feed. Diane, you got lost. It's okay. You will get the slides that have a walkthrough where you can actually have your phone in your hand and do the walkthrough as you're doing this step by step. Okay. Next. So that was a very quick way to show you how you would do a video and put it on your feed. Now, I've been saying this for a few times now. Don't overthink it. Just do it. If you get comments, trolling comments, don't even engage. The blocking button is your friend. You can block, you can restrict. The difference between restricting and blocking is that if you restrict them, you can still see what they do and what they say, but nobody else can. So like they're screaming by themselves and you're getting an engagement on your video. You can also like hide their messages so they're just screaming into the void. Unplug regularly. I do that all the time. I have very strict rules about no media after certain times. I cannot consume news at night because then I have literally nightmares about Mitch McConnell and all his friends. So there are times when I need to separate from the news and be very intentional about the media that I consume, written or visual, to let my brain rest, because otherwise it will not, and my anxiety will go like through the roof. And stay confident in the causes you support. This is a great cause. More people than you think need to know more about this, okay? So help us spread the word as much as you can. Next. Okay, camera-friendly content options. Before I cover this, there's a really good question on like tips to position your camera if you don't have a tripod. You can like absolutely, let me show you. My phone is right here in I will put my phone like against my water bottle, against books. Obviously, because I'm a content creator, I have way too many tripods in this house. But even when I'm like traveling, I will put it like on the desk in front of me. Don't overthink the camera placement, okay? Just put the phone so that it doesn't fall and look at the lens. That's it, okay? So, we've been talking about the types of content. Talk to camera is the type of content that we have been talking about this whole time. You are looking at the camera and you're talking. It's very simple. You just turn on the camera and start recording your message. And it just builds authenticity, and it's very easy to connect, especially with your friends. Even more if you have never done this. So this is where you all have an advantage over somebody like me, because if you've never done this before and all of a sudden, I'm going to keep not picking on Kirby, but Kirby is the first name that comes to mind that I memorized from the chat. Kirby decides to all of a sudden record a video and share it to their Instagram. Their friends are going to be like, okay, wait, what is Kirby talking about? Versus me, they're going to be like, oh, Sylvia's talking about something else again. So you are building a connection with the people that already follow you. Like they're your friends on social media. They want to hear what you want to say, or not necessarily hear. They want to read the captions of what you're saying. Now, the con, or like the thing that is a little hard, is that if you've never done this before, you might feel self-conscious, uncomfortable. You're going to overthink this. And I know because I overthink it all the time. Now, if you are loving this whole thing and you want to get creative, you can do skits. You can bring a friend, or you can get wigs. You can play different characters, you can get super creative, and those can become very engaging. I challenged myself back in 2023 to try to do skits. I don't consider myself a funny person, but I kept seeing that other people did skits, and they were very effective at conveying messages so that it didn't feel like I was lecturing, because a lot of my content is like political, breaking down news. It can be very dry to tell you what happened in the Supreme Court. But if I find a way to do like a skit, then I can make it more interesting. And so I challenged myself. It was harder for me, but maybe for you, it's easy. It has been easier over time. So back to my earlier point of like practice makes it better. The con here, or like the harder part, is that in that case, you do need to have a more solid, polished script, okay? And then it requires a little bit more editing, of course. Next slide. I'm going to get to some of really good questions that I'm seeing in the chat, in the question box in a second. Okay, I'm going to tell you the other thing. Something called B-roll videos. Now, what is B-roll? B-roll is whatever video doesn't have the face. It's like when you see like a little dog running and then flowers and then something else and then somebody walking to a store. It's not the person talking to the camera. That is called B-roll. Now, the beauty about B-roll video is that it can be very low lift to make, because all you need to do is have like a bunch of like photos and or short clips of video, and then you can do a voiceover. And if you're not camera ready, or if you're a little shy and you do not want to do a talk to camera video, then you can do a B-roll video. I'm going to show you a video that I made for you for this presentation. I don't want you to freak out. We are not going to do this tonight. However, the good news is that there will be a slide where I literally walk you through how to do that on your own. Okay? So I think Kaden is the one handling the slides. Kaden, just hit it. On June 14th, I'm going to protest. But before that, I'm making protest signs with my daughter because I want her to know that women do not have to sit back while all our rights are being erased. That was a B-roll video that I put together with a bunch of photos that I had from preparing for the April 5th protests with my daughter. So that was the little hands that you saw there. And then photos that I took. Obviously, in this case, it would be different. But I just wanted to show you. I didn't have any video available. So it was just a string of photos that I organized and put some voiceover and music using an app called Edits. It's free. It's by Instagram. You can download the video once you do it, and you can upload it to Instagram and or Facebook. Or once the video is done, you can like put it in any of the other ones. Twitter, Blue Sky, send it to your friends on WhatsApp, whatever. Okay? The last thing I want to say is there's a alternative of content that we have not really talked about here because this was a social media video training. There is what is called static content. So it's not a video, okay? For that, there's an account that is also on Facebook, but mostly on Instagram, called Still We Rise. My friend Lindsay runs that account, and she does an incredible job of capturing mostly screenshots, is mostly screenshots of tweets or threads or photos that convey a specific message. So the cool thing is that this is very easy to produce because it doesn't require you to record any video or add any captions. But sometimes it's harder for it to get real engagement. So you can play with it. I suggest you can check out Still We Rise to learn from her, like how she does it. I don't like, there's a certain level of genius that she has that I would never even get close to, but I study what she does and learn from it and try to apply it on my own, okay? Next. So here's the preview of what you're gonna get. We're not gonna play this because I don't want to overwhelm you, and I'd rather cover some of the questions that you might have. You will have this available in the takeaway slides, and it's going to show you step by step how I made that video that we just played with Kaden. Next. Okay, there's this one little section that we'd like for you to know. Instagram implemented this feature last year. Coincidentally, in March, they decided that they weren't going to show political content openly to everyone. I don't know if you heard about this or not. It doesn't matter right now. The thing is that there are settings where you can enable and choose to see political content, yes or no. And so these screenshots are going to show you how to do that on Instagram under settings, right there, content preferences, and then you will see turn on political content, like that. And the other thing that we talked a lot about, but a way to maximize accessibility and engagement is to always use captions. Because number one, they're super easy because they're auto-generated. So you just have to like tap 2 buttons on the screen, but it helps a lot more people watch and enjoy your content. Like I said, there's times when I don't have headphones, and if the person doesn't have captions, I cannot engage with their content because I don't play videos out loud, because most of my feed honestly is political, and my 10-year-old gets very upset when she hears the news, and then she will like ruminate is the word, I guess. She gets very upset. So I limit listening to upsetting political content around her. And if I don't have headphones and I cannot read your captions, I'm not going to watch and engage with your video. Okay. Next. There we go. So this looks a little bit intimidating. This is just a bunch of links of Instagram videos or examples that you can check out. I think some of these might include my first video that I did. It's going to be in Spanish. I want you to enjoy watching me look like a deer in headlights as I stare at a little post-it note on the side. Please laugh with me because it's hilarious. I included some examples of other people that do videos. I wanted to make sure that I included videos of people just talking to the camera very naturally. I consciously added non-Gen Z or Gen Alpha people, which are like the 10-year-olds, the 18-year-olds. I'm in my mid-40s, and I think it's just like these digital natives are behave very differently around videos and devices than many of us, including myself. So I wanted to make sure that I included those resources for you. And I believe there are some tutorials here also if you do not have accounts. Some of these links will show you how to create your own Facebook account, Instagram account, TikTok, if you wanted to get on TikTok as well. Those are all included. I think that's it. Okay, do you mind? Oh, if I answer some of the questions, Kaden?
Yes, was just going to ask if we still have some time, so.
Okay, there's a great question. Licensing and copyright issues. You used music in your video. Are there any permission issues? Great question. Because I used the Edits app from Instagram, then it is their song to play on their platform. So using that song will be allowed on Instagram and Facebook. Now, there could be issues if you take that video and put it on TikTok, for example. So I love that you answered that you asked that. If you use the Edits app, like I'm going to show you, to post the video on Instagram or Facebook, you should have no problems, okay? How do the algorithms determine who sees the posts? How can you generate distribution beyond current friends or followers? Kermit, That is a great question. You have no control over what the algorithms will choose to share or not share. This is the expression, the vein of our existence as a content creator, because sometimes I need my content to be spread far and wide, and I cannot control if that happens or not. The video can be really good and just go nowhere, and it's very frustrating. That is my current status right now with, well, current status, obviously it's right now. That is my status right now with TikTok. I can make the exact same, I mean, I can make one video, put it on Instagram, and it'll like get massive views and reach and engagement. Put it on TikTok, where I have I have a significant, 26,000 followers, and I cannot get 100 views on the video. That is not because my video honestly sucked. It's just that the platform doesn't want to show it. So I can't beat myself over it. I'll just make another one and share it in more places. You will get better over time with your videos. Remember, like my first video sucked. But over time, you learn like different tricks of like, okay, instead of making like a whole lengthy introduction, hi, hello everyone, I'm here in my garden and I was just thinking of what I'm going to do on June 14th. No, just get straight to the point. Just don't say hello. Hey, on June 14th, I'm going to do this because of that. Are you going to join me? So you get straight to the point. That is better chance of it getting performance. Unfortunately, I just want to warn you, sometimes the algorithm will push your content to the wrong audience, and that's why we wanted to remind you that block, mute, delete buttons are always there in case you notice that your video took off and you're getting a bunch of trolls bullying you online. Just block the people, okay? Hopefully that doesn't happen, but I just wanted to make sure that you knew about this. Hunter, does anyone, or Sylvia, know if selfie videos like these are recognized as such and treated differently, more likely to make it to the top of people's stories and feeds? This is a great example, a great question. Theoretically, yes, those are more likely. If you have somebody's face, it's more likely to get engagement and be shown to more people. I cannot show you a website where it says that, but all the coaches and social media experts that I follow say that it is better to have your face, especially in the first few frames of the video. And I think that's, there was one question by Kermit that I will answer in the, I'll answer by text, and Kaden, I think. Oh, hold on. There was another question added. I often see a clip embedded in a creator's content, and I think that the clip should be its own quick and short video so as to get small bites of information out there. Is that something you can do with some training? You can absolutely do that. Let me answer by text because that's a very specific answer. And that's it.
Awesome. And feel free to pop a couple more questions in the Q&A, but just want to say thank you so much, Sylvia, for leading tonight's training on social media and storytelling. This was fantastic, and we were so honored to have you on. Before we wrap up with the closing song, I do want to quickly discuss the details for next week's big debrief and next steps call. So we've obviously had this training series go on for over 10 weeks. And if you've stayed on this long, thank you so much for being a part of this Rise for Freedom training series and learning the content and mobilizing with us on May Day, on April 5th, hands off, and hopefully soon June 14th, and eventually on John Lewis Day in July 17th. But for our next steps, we are planning and coordinating with a big partner, which we'll announce next week, a series of in-person Rise for Freedom distributed teach-ins and trainings on a lot of the same content and even more content that we've covered. And so more details will be announced soon. And so the big debrief where we'll discuss a lot of that will be next Thursday, June 12th, from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern. That's 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific. We'll send more details and the Zoom link in a follow-up email, as well as all the resources that Sylvia shared tonight and the recording for tonight's training in a follow-up email. And then we'll also have the recording for Emily's training on traditional media. So if you didn't get the chance to see that part, you'll get to watch the recording. So again, thank you so much for joining, and just wanted to quickly ask Akene if she had anything to add about the big debrief and next steps call.
No, but I think, well, of course I do. I just want to thank Sylvia again because y'all don't know how special and amazing she is and how lucky we are to have such a detailed, thoughtful training. And there's even more, as she referred to in the slides, that we didn't even have time to see. So I really hope you all take some time. And I know I certainly fell behind at least once. So it'll be at your own pace. So we hope you check those out. Those will go out tomorrow. But just thank you so much, Sylvia, for giving of yourself and your time. And I hope this results in 100 videos about No Kings, and how many more people will hear about it and feel energized or think like, huh, maybe this is the time I should start to make my voice heard in a different way. Can be really powerful, especially if you keep it up. But even just one every few months is way better than not as much content about our message. We need more people like all of you. So anyway, the debrief is going to be amazing. If we get enough people from your state, we might be able to do a breakout with people from your state. So a lot of you have been trying to connect um, across the chat and wanting to save the chat. Well, come to the debrief. We'll put you in with other people from your state, and maybe you'll be able to connect. Maybe there'll be someone from down the street. If you're in Idaho, that might not happen. Sorry, Sally. Um, but we'll do our best. And we also just need to know like what worked, what didn't. What do you want to do if we did this again in the fall? Can you bring your like most moderate friends together to do a training like this? What about a bunch of students or farmers or lawyers? Like, what should we do in the fall that would really grow and expand this movement? Maybe it's all the people at your favorite restaurant that would come. I don't know. Unfortunately, I have a terrible cough. So that's all from me. Thanks so much.
Awesome. We'll have a feedback form to let us know how you want to engage going forward. And again, remember to tell your stories in these videos. Movements, pro-democracy movements are built on our stories. So just again, thank you for being here. Thanks again to Sylvia for putting so much effort into this training. And also thank you to Akene and all the volunteers and staff who have been manning the Zooms and answering questions in the chat and spotlighting folks. Leah, Zach, Sophie. Sophie's done an incredible amount of work on this training series. So just shout out and let's close out.